I am Jaya Srivastav, Assistant Professor in Department of Information Technology in ABES Engineering College. Here I am going to explain the topic software testing. Now, what is software testing? Software testing can be stated as the process of verifying and validating whether a software or application is bug-free. That means software testing finds the errors or bugs in the software application. There is a two level of steps in finding the error or bugs. One is your verifying and second one is your validating. Software testing verifying that it meets the technical requirements as guided by its design and development and meets the user requirements effectively or efficiently. That means it can also be defined as that the software meets the user requirements or not effectively or efficiently. Now next we talk about the two level of steps in software testing. One is your verification and second one is your validation. Verification can also be said as that are we building the product right? It refers to the set of tasks that ensure that the software correctly implements a specific function or not. That means we applied the right process for building the right product. And the second step is your validation that we do end of the process. That means it can also be said as are we building the right product? That means it refers to a different set of tasks that ensures that the software that has been built is traceable to customer requirements or not. That means that the product built is finally meets the all requirement of customer or not. So basically there are different levels of software testing that can be defined. There are 4 levels of software testing. One is your unit testing, second one is your integration testing, third one is your system testing, and fourth one is your acceptance testing. So the first one is your unit testing. What is unit testing? A level of the software testing software system are tested. The purpose is to validate that each unit of the software performs as designed. So that means is in this level of testing, we test each and individual module of the software and find the errors or bugs in the each module. Then we go to the second level of the testing. The second level of testing is integration testing, a level of the software testing process where individual units are combined and tested as a group. The purpose of this level of testing is to expose faults in the interaction between integrated unit. That means in this level of testing, we combine the individual units and then we test that there are bugs or errors. If not, then we combine another unit with the individual modules and then do the testing in this level of testing. The third level of software testing is the system testing. That means a level of the software testing process where a complete integrated system software is tested. The purpose of this test is to evaluate the system's compliance with the specified requirements. That means when the whole system is prepared, then we do this level of testing. And the purpose of this testing is to evaluate the system's compliance with the specified requirements by the customers. Now, the last level of software testing is acceptance testing, a level of the software testing process where a system is tested for acceptability. That means it will deliver to the customer or the user. The purpose of this test is to evaluate the system's compliance with the business requirements and assess whether it is acceptable for delivery or not. That means there are two types of testing in the acceptance testing, that is your alpha testing and beta testing. Alpha testing is done at the developer sites and the beta testing is done at the user sites, that the product is delivered to the customer and then they will define that the product is right or not. So we can also relate the levels of software testing with the software development lifecycle phases. There are different phases in the software development lifecycle, like the requirement analysis, then designing, then coding, testing and implementation, and then final the maintenance. So when we reach the part of the coding, we do the coding for our software, then we do the unit testing, because we are doing the testing for each and individual unit of the project. Then we do the testing for each and individual module. Then we do the integration testing that will compare with the designs of the software, that it will follow all the design process or not. And the third one is your validation testing, that is related with the requirement engineering, or we can also said it that all the customer requirements are fulfilled or not, that validate the validation testing. And final is the system testing, that tests that the system is prepared to deliver to customer or not. Or here we also see that the system testing and the validation testing is the high order testing, and the unit testing and integration testing is the low order testing. There are different types of software testing. There are two different testing techniques are used for the finding the bugs or errors. The one is your black box testing, and the second one is your white box testing. As the name said, black box testing, that in the internal structure and the behavior of the program under test is not considered. That means we are not going into the internal structure of the program. Here we only know about the input and the output of the program. The objective is to find out solely when the input-output behavior of the program does not agree with its specification. That means here we only find out that the input and the output behavior is agree with the required specifications or not. So this is the structure of the black box testing. That box is shown in the black color. That means we are not knowing about the internal structure of the program. Here we only know about the test case input and the test case output. So this is the basic black box testing approach. There are different methods used in the black box testing, or we can say that different techniques are used in the black box testing. One is your equivalence partitioning, that we divide our input in the different equivalence part. Second one is your binary value analysis, as we know only the input in the black box testing. So we only check about the boundary values of the input. And the third one method is your comparison testing. We compare the test cases that which will be effective finding the errors or bugs. So these are the different black box testing techniques for finding the errors. There are advantages of black box testing. Black box tests are reproducible, that we can use the test cases again and again. Tester needs no knowledge of implementation, including specific programming language. That here tester has no requirement to know about the programming language, because we are not going into the internal structure of the program. So for the large system, black box testing is efficient, because if the system is very large, then there is a lot of programming in the project. So for the large system, black box testing is very efficient and it has taken less time. Non-technical tester can also do the black box testing, as there is no need of knowing the specific programming language. There is no need of having detailed functional knowledge of the system to the tester. Here is also it is beneficial, because tester has no requirement to know about the detailed functionality of the project. In white box testing, what is white box testing? The internal structure and the behavior of the program under test is considered. The structure of the software is examined by the execution of the code. Test data are derived from the program's logic. This is also called program-based or structural testing. That means in white box testing, we go into the internal structure of the program, as opposite to the black box testing. Here we know about the internal structure and the programming language of the software. The test data are derived from the program's logic for doing the testing. This is the structure of the white box testing. Here we show that the application code is showing into the block. The test case input is applied on the application code. Then we find the test case output and then find that there is errors or not. So basically this is the structure of white box testing. White box testing has also used different techniques for finding the errors. There are different methods like the statement coverage, branch coverage, condition coverage, branch condition coverage, multiple condition, loop coverage method. So in statement method, each statement executed at least once. In branch method, each branch traversed and every entry point taken at least one. In condition coverage, each condition true at least once and false at least one should be taken. Branch condition, both branch and condition coverage achieved. In multiple condition coverage techniques states that the test cases must be written such that all possible combinations of condition in each decision are taken at least once. In the loop coverage method, states that the test cases must be written to test the loop counters. So basically these are the methods for using the in white box testing to finding the errors. And there are advantages of white box testing. White box testing forces the developer to implement the program carefully because we go into the program structure. If the program is not implementing carefully, then we cannot find the exact errors or bugs in the program. It reveals error in hidden code also. As the knowledge of internal coding structure is prerequisite, it becomes very easy to find out which type of input data can help in testing the application effectively. Other advantages are it helps in removing the extra lines of code. The other advantage of white box testing is that it helps in optimizing the code. So basically, these are the advantages of white box testing and the different type of testing. There are some other types of testing is also available, that the regression testing, alpha testing, beta testing, that is very important to find the error in the software application. These are the references. Thank you.